Austin Blackmon. I'm the Chief of Environment, Energy, and Open Space for the City of Boston, and we are committed to the Compact of Mayors. Well, Boston is a coastal city. We're also a city where we've used quite a bit of landfill to expand our physical base, so we're particularly susceptible to climate change. Over the past 100 years, we've already seen a significant amount of sea level rise, and it's continuing to grow at an increased rate. And we're projected to see another 1 to 2 feet by 2050, maybe another 6 feet by 2100. In conjunction with severe weather events, we have serious challenges to plan and prepare for as it relates to sea level rise. Right, it's so important because it gets cities together and gets us collaborating and sharing ideas in terms of what's working and what we can learn, how we can learn from other cities' challenges or even failures to make sure that we're not repeating them. Right now, about 54% of the world's population is in cities. About 70% of the emissions come from urban areas, and 90% of urban areas are in coastal zones. So cities are a great place to start as it relates to climate change planning and climate change action. And the City of Boston is really committed to leading by example and making sure that we're collaborating with our other peer cities on these issues. So that's why I'm a member of the Urban Sustainability Directors Network to share our ideas, as well as part of the C40 and other cities that are committed to aggressive greenhouse gas emission reduction goals. The City of Boston, we have a goal of reducing emissions by 25% by 2020 and by 80% by 2050. And in order to do that, partnering not only with other cities, but also with our business community and our residents is crucially important. The city has about 321 buildings and about 1,000 vehicles. That makes up about 3% of greenhouse gas emissions that happen within our city borders. So in order to accomplish our goals, it's really crucial that we're communicating with our businesses and partnering with them and partnering with our residents in order to accomplish our climate action goals. Well, for the second time in a row, Boston's been ranked the #1 city in energy efficiency by the American Council for an Energy Efficient Economy. We're very, very proud of that. We received that commendation mostly because of the great programs that we already have that link our businesses and residents to incentives and programs that are offered through our utilities and through the state to help Boston become the most energy efficient city in the nation. But other cities are catching up, and we have to continue to innovate, and we have to continue to grow the base. So in my office, we've made a commitment to really continue to ramp up our community engagement. The mayor's made it very clear that we're to be leading by example, so we're looking at our own building stock and looking at ways to creatively finance retrofits for those. So we've got an effort called the Renew Boston Trust, which is going to allow us to do energy performance contracting, allowing us to retrofit our buildings and actually finance that through the savings that are realized through the projects. So I'm very, very proud of both the #1 ranking twice in a row and also our commitment to continuing to innovate in the future. One thing that I really hope to see 5, 10 years from now, and we've started working on this already, is we're taking a regional approach to climate preparedness in the city of Boston. Mayor Walsh convened all 14 metro mayors in the city of Boston and our regional partners to make sure that we are talking together and planning together and coming to a consensus around, okay, does it need to be 5 feet by 2050 or 7 feet by 2050 in terms of sea level rise? Making sure all of our plans talk to each other, making sure that if our neighbors like Quincy or Winthrop get hit harder, that we have the capability to help them out and vice versa. 5, 10 years from now, I hope that that organization, the working group that's coming from that, is going to be a huge part in terms of making sure that we're prepared for our next severe weather event. I hope that what we'll be able to do is that instead of learning from the lessons of Katrina or from Superstorm Sandy, that we're able to kind of flip the motif that you see so often here in the United States, where we respond very well to disasters. FEMA says that for each dollar that's spent on climate preparedness efforts, $4 is returned in avoided costs. But it's very difficult to convince people to take that action. So I'm very hopeful that over the next 5-10 years, that through the work that we're doing throughout our region and that Mayor Walsh has been leading, that we'll be able to flip that dynamic. We are committed to the Compact of Mayors.